What is up, guys? Halloween Hunters here. Today, I got another pickup, a couple pickups. I got another Leatherface. He was a little bit on the pricier side compared to what I usually pay, but when these come up, you gotta grab them because they're just getting rarer and rarer. I also picked up this one. This one I actually got for free. Some lady cleaning out a storage unit. He's missing his head. His arm is broken. This is basically for parts, but I got him for free. He does work though. His arm does work. That mechanism works. So here's what we got. This guy is not in as good of condition as I was told by the seller. I was told works 100% perfectly, original owner. Once I got it home, found out very quickly that's not true. Miscellaneous screws everywhere. Also, there's no head mechanism in here. There's a whole bunch of hot glue. So we're gonna have to do some more surgery on another Gemmy product. So luckily I have this Jason here. So Jason is basically for parts. When I picked it up, the lady posted it like this as a headless horseman. So I was like, hey, I'll come get it. How much do you want? She said free, just take it. So I went and grabbed it after work one day, right after she posted it. But I was hoping that I would find the head in her storage unit. Couldn't find the head. So he's basically for parts. So I think I'm going to take all his clothes and wash them, and I'll save them in a bag. So I'll have a spare set of the clothes. Keep the base and the board. His hands. I do have his machete, which is right here. This is my, there's the head. Here's his hand and machete original, which is nice. This is where I keep a bunch of my parts. So yeah, there's the new head. So both of mine have the fuzzy eyebrows. His neck base here is good. Head is good. So as you guys know, these break a lot. So I'm actually going to 3D print and design one of these for every Gemmy that I can. That way, if you guys need them to fix yours, you can fix them. I'll probably design this guy and the whole thing. So it's gonna take me some time. I just ordered a 3D printer and I'm just learning how to use CAD and design things. I've done a few prints so far and they've come out really well. So I'm excited. We're gonna be making a lot of Gemmy parts, which is good. So it's one of the first things I'm gonna design. It should be really easy. Here's my original, my first Leatherface, and this is the one that you guys saw in my previous video. Let's see if he's turned on. So sounds like split gear in the arm. And I haven't checked the torso. I never checked the torso on him. I'm usually just too busy to ever be able to do too much work on these like I would like to do. But here's a couple. And then there's my Frankenstein and my Freddy Krueger 2010. And my other Frankenstein's right there. And then I got Ghostface and Michael Myers H2O and Hannibal Lecter are in a different room. Still don't have the whole set. I still need to get a real Jason, unfortunately, because I didn't get his damn head. But he'll be good for parts. This guy's not worth as much as these guys, so I'm definitely going to use his mechanism, and I'll probably 3D print these as well. Let's see. Okay, so the plug is on the same side and everything. So yeah, let's take this apart. I actually might take his whole, I guess, torso mechanism also. But I think his torso works. Let's see. Yep, torso works. His arm kind of works too, actually. Did you see that? So I really only have to do this mechanism here, the head. I will have to do some custom wiring though, because I'm sure the wiring for the head doesn't work. Yeah, it looks like somebody just cut a piece of plastic and super glued it in there, which really sucks. So let's see what we can do. So I'm gonna try to help you guys out here and learn a little bit, because I've made mistakes when I first got into these. So what you want to do is take this ring off and don't undo the middle screw, and that will give you the whole head turning mech. Then this is how you get to the body turning mechanism, the left and right. Okay, so I made the mistake because if you take this apart and then you take apart that screw, this piece lifts off, and then you expose the head motor where you can fix the split gear if you have one on this. But the problem with that is you then can't lift the whole thing out to get to the bottom. So you just gotta leave that screw in. So what we're gonna probably do is cut these wires wherever they lead. They lead to back here. So we're gonna cut that. I'm gonna cut and splice this guy. I gotta go get my soldering iron real quick. Obviously somebody did something here with these crimps. So we're gonna fix that. I'm gonna use this original piece and this original bracket. I'm gonna undo this screw. And I don't know if it's gonna just fit in there, but we will see. Probably gonna have to take this closed back a little bit so we can try to get the right. Oh my God, I don't know what is going on in here. There's like a coat hanger. Oh man. And the wrong tie, that's going in the trash. Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna have to find the wires that originally went to the head part. But I'm gonna cut them off of Jason first. That way I can test fit this. All right, so I cut this guy. This is the one that works from Jason, the whole mech. And that's his thing with the right screws. Here's the one from Leatherface that we're gonna move this one and put it on there. And here's his ring, which I guess I'll use it because it's got a couple dots of blood. It can keep it more original, I guess. So I gotta take this guy apart and then just put this one on there. And then I have to rewire this. I left the red and the black like this so I can know which is which. The motor will be a little bit tough because I'm gonna have to figure out what they did, because there's a whole bunch of wiring in here that's not correct, that somebody did. Also, if you noticed, well, he's actually missing the screws here. See how the screws are there? They're always like supposed to be in there because they connect to the rod. For the turning mechanism, and he is missing his turning mech, unless he's a little different. It's possible, but usually these are all about the same. Also, somebody used the screws that were wrong. As you see, all these holes are way too big, so they used the wrong screws. I'm gonna have to probably cut some of this out to fit the head mech, because the motor goes in there. As you see, it won't fit. So let's cut that motor out, or cut some plastic out. This will get wired to this wire, And then I'm gonna have to find the power for this guy. All right, so just to let you guys know, we're not gonna be able to do the switch because Jimmy changed the size of the square of the little cross here. You see this one is really tiny, this one's big, so this one's not gonna fit on here, but we will have to change out the plug because if you notice the plug type is different for their heads. So Jason's head, Leatherface head, different plugs. So we're gonna switch the plugs and we're gonna have to use this one back on its original mechanism and put this in Leatherface. All right, so now the Leatherface adapter DC plug is on. This thing fits good. I stuck the wires out where they're supposed to go. So now we're gonna drill a hole for the mech here. Actually, I put this on backwards, so I'm gonna unscrew it, flip it real quick, and then we'll drill the hole. Okay guys, this is gonna be a little bit more work than I thought. I'm not gonna be able to just drill a hole because this is what holds your, I'm gonna call it the torso part, to the base of this whole animatronic. So I'm gonna have to take his arms off, take his clothes off here, take his body form off, remove this mechanism, this plastic here, replace it with this whole top plastic of this Jason. Because as you see, this piece of plastic is molded, connected with this piece, and it holds it to that bottom, which then goes into another mechanism. So we got some work ahead of us to get this to work right. And obviously taking him apart's like whatever, he's fucked up, but I want to be careful taking this guy apart because he's in pretty good shape other than yeah, some internals. Hope you guys are enjoying this video so far. Getting to do a lot of fun teardowns here. Gonna keep all these parts. Isn't that crazy? It's just a basic DC plug and it just has this little adapter. That's how they do it. Looks like I'm gonna have to make these adapters too somehow. All right, so this is good and set, ready to go. Let's strip this one down. So now would be a great time to replace the torso gear. It's exactly like a head. I use a different tooth, but I could be wrong. It might just be the same tooth, 10 tooth gear. But we're gonna clean this up. I might take this piece off and put the one from here. Just because this one's screws are pretty messed up. They put the wrong size screws. They are way too big and they messed it up. But I'm going to try and keep this bottom part is good. I don't really, yeah, these, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, they didn't have the worst idea. They screwed it to this and that. I mean, it worked probably for a while. Except that his head wasn't able to spin. It was sitting in there all loose. So let's take him apart now. Alrighty. So here's the body mech from here. We took out because of this. You see we have another problem. Look how big that one is. How tiny that is. Tiny one here. We're gonna have to fit. This one's pretty big. Don't think that is going to work. No, sir. It actually might work once we screw it down. But I would like to make it fit better. Like I said, I can't use this one because not only are these holes messed up, they are a different pattern for his torso here. This is the good one. So this bolt pattern will not fit him. It's made to fit him, you see. And this is the torso we're gonna put here because this one's destroyed. So we are going to do that. Everything else should fit right. That looks good. That looks good. Gemmy seemed to do, for the most part, everything similar. I'm actually surprised how much on this is different by slight little things. But let me actually... Man, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? A few different options here to get this right. I gotta put a screw in the center, and then we'll do a test, and then I'll try a couple things before I continue. But for sure, this has to go here. We need that to work for his body to move left and right. Once that's done, we can then replace these. Once that's done, we put him back together. Then we have to figure out the wiring, which I will go based off of this harness because we know that this harness works. And which wires they are. So, which it was these ones. Alrighty guys, so now he's nice and put back together. Everything's working great. So now I just tested the wires and his eyes work, which is good. I tested the wires, the head mech's working. So I'm going to solder everything correctly. I just twisted it to test. So I'm going to wire everything together correctly now, and then we shall cover everything, heat shrink, make sure everything's good. Oh my God, I was standing on my soldering iron. It's like, I smell something burning. It's my shoes. Okay, yeah, don't do that. Okay, so I'm gonna solder all the wires together, finish putting them together, put the chainsaw on. I'll put this chainsaw since it has the chain and we can see everything. And then we will have a 100% working Leatherface. Started with a pretty fucked up one. Got it pretty good. He needs a little work. His torso doesn't move like you saw earlier. His eyes also don't move. We will fix him fully later, but we're gonna finish him first. Eventually we'll finish him another day. But I'm glad I had this Jason that I got for free for parts, because I also switched out this. So see this gear here, that little cross piece that grips the other piece that spins. This one is small. Jason's was originally big. This piece is from Leatherface. So I switched it. Luckily it's the same exact gear ratio, just different size cross. So I switched to that. Also that gear got pushed in too far, which is why this one's torso actually wasn't working. It works fine, just that let's see, it's a 1 2 3 4 5, that's a 10-tooth gear there. It's not that it doesn't work or it's not split, it went too deep, so it just needs to be brought up. And then this torso actually works, so that's still a good mechanism there. So let me finish wiring this and try not to step on my soldering iron, and we'll have him fully working. Alrighty guys, so he now is fully working. There is another problem I just found. So we got eyes working, head moving, torso moving, arm working great. Chainsaw's not working. So this chainsaw fully works because it works on him. So what's not working on this guy is probably this. This is what powers the chainsaw. Yeah, I did plug it in. So the fact that it's not working right now means that that wire that goes through and gets power is probably cut somewhere in there that I didn't see yet. So I'll have to fix the chainsaw later. But other than that, he's doing good. Neighbors are probably wondering what the hell's going on. So when I bought this guy, he did not come with the original tie apron like this guy. So I'm gonna take probably the tie and apron and put them on this one. I'm just trying to make the best possible Leatherface I can with what I have. So far so good. I should have two actually, or the apron. The apron's gonna be a little tough. I do have an apron that is from Spirit way back in the day, but it's a little too small and it is it's yellow, so it doesn't match right. But eventually, I mean, you can buy the tie, which is cool, so that's no problem. You can go on eBay and just buy one of these ties. If you look up Texas chainsaw tie, this apron's gonna be a little bit harder, but what else I need to do is get the chains. This isn't too hard, except those toy chainsaws are going for over $100 right now for some reason. But the one you want to find is the Gemmy Leatherface chainsaw, because it's the one, they made a chainsaw that looks just like this during the same year that was used for this prop and as a standalone prop that you could buy. So Cameron has one or two of the standalone props, and you can tell they were made because they still have cutouts for certain things for the prop, but they were used, and they have a button right here, so you just push it like a normal toy chainsaw for Halloween. But the reason you want that one is because the chain will match. It'll be the silver chain with the blood. Any other chain you buy, I think, or chainsaw has like a black chain, so it'll work, but it's gonna be tough. So this chain is broken, and that one's also missing the chain, so I'm going to have to get chains for these, or I could try to modify a real chain or something. We'll see. But pretty good for a few hours work. He moves his arm, which is really cool because that one has a split gear. Oh man. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Lots of Halloween stuff coming up soon. We're in May right now, so tons of stuff. Our Hearst Club's going to start cruising this month. Obviously, we look for these jimmies every single day, which is how we get so many. I just bought this one a few days ago. He's on my channel too when we fixed him up a little bit. We're going to do a lot more fixing on him later on. This guy, we're going to pack up everything and, you know, keep as much as we can because he might be used for another prop to fix up later. I might get another Jason that needs a motherboard or something, or some gears. I'm going to try to also clone all these gears for people as well. So I'm going to try to make molds. Actually these bigger ones, I could 3D print these. The smaller ones are going to be tough to print, but these big ones I could probably do it. I'm also thinking about making an adapter from going from small to big cross here, in case you're fixing something where you just want to put your piece on there. As you saw, I had the problem where this Leatherface one is the small cross, and I was putting a big cross, so it didn't work. And this is what makes it move, you know, like a screwdriver would. It's how it gets its torque, you know. So I can try to make an adapter that goes from big to small or small to big. So I'm gonna try to do that. I'm gonna try to 3D print these as well because these break a lot. I probably will not do this, but I will definitely be doing these and the heads. The mounts for the heads that go in here, I'm going to 3D print those as well. Actually, here's my 3D printer. I just bought it. I've been using mine at work because we have a bunch of them at work. So that's what I've been practicing on, and I was like, you know what? It's time for me to buy one. So I will be making as many parts like this that I can with the strongest filament that I can find that I'll be able to use. That way we can restore more of these, because not only do I have a few more that need to be totally restored and fixed up, like my Freddy's kind of effed up too. We have to repair him. I haven't even put him on the channel yet. I literally just bought him and threw him up there. But he does turn on and his fingers move, but he needs other work. But I love repairing these. I know I didn't do, actually we did a lot today. We did a whole torso transfer, so it's pretty good. We did a lot today. We changed 3 different mechanisms to make a really good Leatherface. So I just love fixing these. You know, they're really rare and they're really cool and they're really well made, but they get mistreated a lot. So I like to bring them back to original as much as I can. They're just really fun to collect. They're really fun to work on, but it's not like you can go order parts really. There's a couple people out there that I have seen that do 3D print parts, but I haven't seen anything that I need. So I'm gonna have to try to make them myself. Plus, I enjoy the challenge. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll hit it one more time, I guess. But we will catch y'all next time. Thank you guys for watching the Halloween Hunters. It's been another Gemmy find and build and repair. We saved another one today. Still a lot more saving to do because I actually have a couple more leather faces that are in desperate need of repair that are in storage. They're really beat. These ones are in way better shape, so eventually that will be done. So thank you guys for watching. Halloween Hunters here. We'll catch y'all next time.